Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right back into the case of Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, there's a very mixed bag for Mr. Rittenhouse here. You know, we have the left and the right, we have people in the middle. I more so like to think of myself as a free thinker. I just think what I think. And we're going to slowly get through this and unfold my opinion. And, respectfully, y'all give your opinion as well. Let's go.
Please state your name, spelling your last name for the record.
Kyle Rittenhouse, Rittenhouse.
Okay, first of all, first and foremost, this kid has been prepped. The way he answered that question, it was like he was waiting his whole life to answer that question.
Kyle, where do you reside?
Walworth County,
How old are you?
18.
On August 25th of 2020, did you come to downtown Kenosha to look for trouble?
No.
Would you have shot Joseph Rosenbaum if he hadn't chased you trying to take your firearm?
Objection leading.
Now we're gonna get into Mr. Rosenbaum, but guys, I mean, really look at the case, right? We're gonna go through Mr. Rosenbaum's testimony later, but judging from the character of Mr. Rosenbaum, I could just imagine him being in a riot. That's all I'm saying. But we're going to get to that later.
It sounds kind of leading.
Would you... I'll get to it. Are you a high school graduate?
Yes.
What high school?
Penn Foster Online High School.
Are you currently enrolled in any further studies?
I'm a college student studying nursing at Arizona State University.
Now, when I first saw this story, I was like, oh, he shot up some people, sent him to jail. But when the case comes out, they really break down all the things that he did. You know, he was community service. Like, what I'm trying to say is I thought he was classroom school shooter vibes. But then when you actually get to see him, he's not really shooter vibes. So let's see what I mean by that.
Who do you currently live with?
My mom and two sisters.
Directing your attention to August 25th of 2020, where did you reside?
Antioch, Illinois.
Do you remember the address?
286 Anita Terrace, apartment 104, Antioch, Illinois.
I could bet every last dollar that they prepped this kid so hard to where he dreamed the answers.
Did you live with there?
My mother and two sisters.
What's your father's name?
Michael Rittenhouse.
Back on August 25th of 2020, where did he reside?
He lived in Kenosha, in the city of Kenosha, in the apartments behind the Pick and Save on 50.
He's nervous.
On 50.
Super.
Do you have any other family that's from Kenosha?
Yes.
What?
My grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, and cousins all live in the city of Kenosha.
Okay. There's been testimony in this trial about the firearm.
Oh, look at the prosecutor. He's looking at him like he's staring them down. Chill out, bro. Now, the one thing I'll say is I really did not like the prosecutor. Now, I know the judge had an issue with him, but bro, the prosecutor is so stuck up his own ass sometimes. It's annoying. They should have got a better prosecutor. You would think the state would throw something better at the situation, but maybe even the state knew that, maybe let the good defense attorney do his thing. I don't know.
Question, which has been marked. States 28. You've seen that gun?
Yes.
Before August 25th of 2020, had that gun ever left the state of Wisconsin?
No.
Now, before this event happened on August 25th of 2020, did you have any hobbies?
Yes.
Tell the jury what you like to do.
I was a swimmer. I enjoyed working. I was a lifeguard.
Oh, shit.
Hanging out with friends, going to the beach.
Oh, shit. I was a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard 3 or 4 years, and I got my first aid certificate, all that. Certified swimmer out here. Hardcore.
Just normal teenage stuff.
Were you a member of any groups, organized groups?
Yes.
What?
I was a police explorer. for Grays Lake Police Department, and I was a firefighter EMT cadet for Antioch Fire Department.
Damn.
Did you have any training in life-saving, anything like that?
Yes.
What?
I was a certified lifeguard. I am a certified lifeguard and swim instructor. I am certified in Stop the Bleed, CPR, AED, automatic.
He went to the YMCA. He went to the YMCA for all that. How much you want to bet? Drop in the comments and tell me if he was a lifeguard at the YMCA. Because all that sounds like the program that they put you through. But yeah, kid was out here, doing super extracurricular stuff. Now, I will say, I feel like all that extra, the lifeguard, first aid, all that gave him the courage to really go out there. When in reality, I always say never fight over property. It could be replaced. That's what I always say. But I think that may have gave him the confidence to really go out there and be like, hey, no, I'm going to stop this. You are the bad person. Stop that. That whole little thing I'm not really a fan of. But let's continue.
Automatic external defibrillator, and basic life support.
Okay. On August 25th of 2020, where were you employed?
I was furloughed at the YMCA in Lindenhurst, Illinois, because of.
What did I tell you? The YMCA. I didn't watch the video. I swear to God. The YMCA. I told you it's the program. We all go through it. Yeah. Nah. So yeah. Okay.
The COVID-19 pandemic, and I was working at the Recplex in Pleasant Prairie.
What did I tell you?
Recplex here in Kenosha County.
And I'm coming from Belize. There is a YMCA in Belize. And they still follow the same program. That's legit.
Yes.
Now, on the night of the 24th, did you come to downtown Kenosha?
Not downtown, but I came to Kenosha for work.
Okay. And after your shift at work completed, where did you go?
I went to Dominic Black's stepfather's house. I believe his name is Scott Dickhart. It's been a while since I've seen him.
Okay. And who is Dominic Black in relationship to you?
Him and Dominic Black and my sister Mackenzie Rittenhouse used to date.
Okay. And on the night of the 24th, were you aware of anything going on in Kenosha?
I knew there was protests, demonstrations, and riots going on in the later evening.
Okay. And how were you aware of that?
I saw videos on social media, on Facebook live streams, TikTok of. I saw the Car Source lot being burned down, the Car Source 1, what we've been referring to.
See what I tell you? That little hero inside of him is saying, yeah, go out there, fight him, man. You got this, save the world. When his ass should have stayed home. I'm just saying his ass should have stayed right home and stayed on TikTok. But,
I saw a police officer get assaulted. He had a brick thrown at his head.
Oh, I remember that.
I saw the mattress store owner get knocked out, and I believe his jaw was broken. It had to be wired shut or something.
Bro, I kind of remember these things. It's crazy to remember. But then at the same time, if you think the world is ending and you think the country is just falling apart, what else do? You stay inside or go out there with the AK? So it's like there's a slippery slope and there's a balance, I'm not sure if he really crossed that line and a little too hero complexed or not, but yeah, it was a tough time. It was a scary time, I'll say that.
And you saw all of that on the 24th?
Yes.
Did you go to downtown Kenosha at that time and try and do anything about that?
No, I did not.
Directing your attention to the late morning of August 25th, 2020, did you have occasion to go downtown?
I did go to downtown in the morning of August 25th.
Who did you go there with?
I went there with Dominic Black, my sister Mackenzie Rittenhouse, and Ray Dickhart.
And describe what you did.
We walked around for a little bit, and then I believe at around 11:30 noon, we ended up at Ruther Central High School, where we ended up cleaning graffiti for about, I want to say, an hour and a half to 2 hours.
The kid really does have the teacher's star of approval. You know, the teacher's pet. Like the kid was out here doing cleaning up graffiti. Now it's kind of hard to hate on him. You know, the kid was really out here trying to do his thing. The one thing I said though is like, you know, and he was with a group, so it's not like he was going out there by himself. Maybe it just all went to shit, man. You guys let me know. What could he have stayed home, or like would going out there have changed anything? You know what I mean? Would him going out there have changed anything? I don't think so. Doing the graffiti's great. All that shit is top tier. But going out there that night to protect the property, was that necessary? Okay, let me ask another question. Did it change anything in the long run of that night, what he was trying to do? Did it change anything? You guys let me know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Showing what's been previously marked as Exhibit 131. Do you recognize that?
I do.
Could you describe what you see in that photo?
Towards the left in the olive green shirt, that's me, and then to my left, that's Ray Dickard, and to my right, that's my sister Mackenzie Rittenhouse.
So what are you doing there?
We're cleaning graffiti off of Ruther Central High School.
And were you getting paid to do this?
No, I was not.
And
his head is twitching. Hey, remember I said there's always a tell. I don't think he's lying at all, but he's nervous as fuck. And if you look at his temple, every once in a while it's just twitching. I think he's biting down like, I think that's what he's doing.
He says?
Yes.
And you do what it says?
Yeah, look at it. Flexing. If you look at the side of his head, it's flexing. Yeah, he's nervous. Because he knows that if he goes to jail, he's getting out like when he's 35, and that's not good. We can't have that. That's not good. In his head, he's like, we can't have that. No.
Yes.
I won't repeat it. After you were done doing that, what did you do?
We were walking, and we went to the car source lot, the first location, and we were looking at the destruction of the burnt cars, and we saw the owner, Sam and Sal, I believe that's what they told us their names were.
And you saw, when we say car source, the one that you met Sam and Sal at is what we've been referring to as car source number 1?
Yes.
And that's the one that they just played a video of all the burnt out cars?
Yes.
Did you have any discussions with Sam and Sal?
Briefly, I offered my condolences, and I said if there's anything I can do, please reach out to me. He gave me his number. I gave him my number,
And you were with Dominic Black at that time?
I was.
And your sister?
Yes.
And what did you do after that?
After that, we walked back to, I believe, we parked their car by, you see the parking lot?
Do you have the pointer up there?
Yes. We parked our car right in this parking lot in that corner, somewhere over there.
I can't see that far, I'm sorry.
He's an old timer. Give him a break.
Referring to the parking lot, which is at the corner 59th and Sheridan, it would be the southeast corner, correct?
Correct.
And you're pointing the dot, you parked closer to 8th Street, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you can put the pointer down. And whose car did you get there in?
Dominic Black's.
And when you left, where did you go?
Once we left that parking lot, we went to Dominic Black's stepfather's house again, and we hung out there for a little bit.
Okay. And do you know who Nick Smith is?
I do.
And did you have any contact with Nick Smith that afternoon?
Later in the evening, around 3:30, 4 o'clock, Nick Smith called me and Dominic.
And when he called you, what was the nature of the call?
At first, Nick Smith wanted us to drive him to Chicago by O'Hare Airport, the suburbs of Chicago, because he wanted to buy a bulletproof vest. And Dominic said, okay, we'll drive him. And then he said, okay, I need you to pick me up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Why does he need to buy a bulletproof vest? Like, were they planning to do this protection thing ahead of time? You know, what's up with that?
go and pick him up eventually?
Yes, we actually, before we picked him up, we went to Jelensky's.
Okay. What did you do at Jelensky's?
We bought, Dominic wanted me to buy 2 rifle slings. We hung around for a couple minutes, and then some people showed up. I now know who they are, but at the time I didn't.
Okay. You know it's been marked as Exhibit 3030. Do you recognize?
These guys feel like they're in Call of Duty. You got the medic guy with the medic helmet. You got the guys with the guns and the slings. I mean, they were ready for war. I feel like they thought the country was like falling apart, like in real time. You know what I mean? They were ready for it.
Is that exhibit?
I do.
We've heard testimony. You can have a seat. We've heard testimony about you, Nick, and Dominic. You knew those individuals before August 25th of 2020?
I knew Nicholas Smith and Dominic Black.
Okay. You did not know the owner of Car Source previously?
I did not.
Was he being nice to you guys? Was he happy you were there? Was he mad at you for being there? Describe it.
He was happy we were there.
Okay. And you heard their testimony, the 2 owners. I believe that was Friday afternoon.
I did.
And did they give you permission to be there?
They did.
Okay, so obviously I think he's trying to get to the point where they were wanted there and that the militia somehow was like granted. So it's like they weren't trespassing on top of that.
And the other individuals in this photograph, some of whom have testified in this trial, 10 minutes before this photograph was taken, did you know any of them?
I did not.
Had you ever spoken to any of them?
No.
And when you were there, what was the idea? Was there a plan? What was going to happen?
Yes, the plan was to, I went down there to provide first aid. I brought...
Okay, so I get what he's saying. It wasn't just Kyle's idea to just go down there and just shoot some people up. What he's trying to convey is that it was a structured plan. There was a bunch of people who didn't really know each other, small groups that came together to protect the merchandise from the riots that were happening in the area.
My orange first aid kit, the fanny pack, and I also brought my Pelican box, which was filled with first aid stuff by my feet to provide first aid.
The orange box by your feet you refer to as a Pelican box?
Yes.
Did you have that before the 25th?
Yes.
Was it stocked?
Yes.
With things that you had bought and brought?
Yes.
And do you go with that every day, or is that because of the situation?
It was in the trunk of my car.
Okay. And
Smart.
fanny pack?
I used to do emergency preparedness when so I used to live in Oakland, and there's a lot of earthquakes and a bunch of crazy shit that happens in Oakland, and I did an emergency preparedness job, and they always taught you to have like an escape kit, a med kit. All these kits, have one in your car, have a home kit. For example, if an earthquake happens and you get pinned down into a certain room, you have this non-perishable food, these liquids. Like, they were serious about that. So if you actually live your life like that, you might actually survive a few things that you otherwise may have not. But shit, I mean, I worked for them for like 2 years on like an internship. Not even 2 years, like a year and a half on an internship. I never made a home kit or a car kit, anything.
What's the situation with that?
It was my work bag. I brought it to work with me, and I would put it under my lifeguard booth.
Okay. And that had first aid supplies?
Yes.
Now,
So he kinda
after
needed
the
it.
meeting here at 63rd and Sheridan Road, what's been referred to as Car Source 3, what happened?
After the photograph, I believe, I don't recall exactly, but there was about 2 or 3 vans that pulled up, like big vans with people inside of them.
Okay. And what was their role in this evening?
Well, they showed up and they wanted to protect the business, and I didn't really have a say in what everybody was doing. I was just there doing my first aid stuff, and then Ryan Ball said, "Hey, why don't you guys stay here, and we'll go down to the car source number 2."
Okay. And So the people, a group of people was going to stay at Car Source 3, and the people depicted in this photograph were going to go where?
Car Source 2.
And is that what happened?
Yes.
And so at that point then, Sam and Sal had coverage, for lack of a better word, at both of their businesses to protect the property, correct?
Yes.
So you get down to Car Source 2, did all of these people go there?
Yes. Besides Sal, the owner, he did not.
Okay. During the night, was Sam and Sal there?
They were not.
They left you guys there?
Yes. I believe.
Now, if you keep in mind, in the other video of Kyle Rittenhouse that I posted, there was like a reporter that was there, and he was like, "So can you guys get into the building? I want to go to the roof. I see you guys on the roof." And he's like, "Oh, well, there's a guy who has the key, but we don't really want people going up there." So yeah, the owner wasn't there, but they had access to the roof and inside the building and all that.
I believe Nick Smith was in contact with them throughout the night. I'm not certain, but I believe they were.
And you get down there, were you able to get in and out of the business?
Yes.
How?
Sal, the owner, actually gave Nick Smith a set of keys.
Did you personally see that?
I did.
Did he give you any other direction regarding any equipment or anything like that?
He let us know where, like, the power washers and the fire. I think there was a single fire extinguisher in the building and some hoses, the hose hookups, just in case there was any fires we needed to put out at the lot. The person that attacked me first threatened to kill me twice.
Okay. And the person who threatened to kill you, we now know is Mr. Rosenbaum, correct?
Yes.
Before August 25th of 2020.
Now, see, Mr. Rosenbaum, just hearing that statement, I wouldn't really, I would be like, oh, so, but what happened? Like, I wouldn't say, no, he wouldn't do that. I would kind of be like, well, what were you guys talking about? Why did he threaten you? Like, because, I don't know, we'll get to his testimony later, but Mr. Rosenbaum is another character.
Had you ever seen him before?
I did not.
Had you ever done anything to upset him?
No.
Now, you said he threatened to kill you twice.
Yes.
Describe the first time.
The first time was me and Ryan Balch were a little bit north, towards the north corner of 59th and Sheridan, and Mr. Rosenbaum was walking with a steel chain, and he had a blue mask around his face. And
yo, Rosenbaum thought this was the purge. He was like, yo, this is the purge come to life. We're fucking everything up. He has a steel chain and a blue bandana. What's going on here?
He was just mad about something. Me and Mr. Balch were asking people if they needed medical help, and then he screamed, sorry for my language, he screamed, "If I catch any of you fuckers alone, I'm going to fucking kill you."
And that was directed at you and Mr. Balch?
It was directed at both of us, what I believe.
And there was a second occasion where he threatened you?
Yes. The second time was outside of the Car Source. And I don't know if it was directed towards me, but I heard it. He said to, I believe it was Joanne Fiedler, Dustin, Colette, and another guy. He was screaming. He said, "I'm going to cut your fucking hearts out and kill." I'm not going to repeat the second word, but kill you N-words.
He imagined saying that completely. That's why he smiled. He was like, what? But why would he call them N-words if it was all white folks? Like, this is what I don't understand. What's going on?
Now, did you ever see Mr. Rosenbaum doing any physical property damage?
I did.
Where?
I saw him with, I now know to be Joshua Zeminski. I saw him tip that trailer over and the porta potty. I saw him do both. And I believe he tried to start the porta potty on fire. I don't know. I don't think he succeeded. But then I saw him with Mr. Zeminski. He was either helping start it or he was like throwing stuff on it. I don't know which one he was doing.
Where did you you and Mr. McGinnis and Mr. Balch go someplace?
Yes.
And describe that.
I get done with my interview with Mr. McGinnis, and I ask Mr. McGinnis, no, I don't ask him. I said, if you want to come with us, that's fine, to document and film me and Ryan helping people. And he said, yeah, sure, and he followed behind us.
Yeah, so like if he was on a rampage, honestly, I don't think he would really want, you know, the documentary guy there with him. So, yeah, all I can say is if he was like black or a different race, I feel like the verdict would have been different. I don't know. Something just tells me that, but
And in that tape for Mr. McGinnis, there's talk about you being an EMT, correct?
Yes.
Are you an EMT?
I am not.
You have first aid and other training.
I do.
And you go to south on Sheridan Road?
Correct.
You cross 60th and Sheridan Road?
I believe we stay just to the right going south on Sheridan Road.
And eventually you cross Sheridan Road?
Eventually.
And were the Bearcats there yet?
No. Yes, they were.
Okay. Had they set up a line to stop people that you were aware of?
Not that I was aware of. I just know they were parked right there and people were throwing rocks at them.
Did anybody tell you not to cross that line? You wouldn't be able to go back?
Not until later in the evening.
Okay. You cross that line, and where do you go?
We continue straight in a southerly direction down Sheridan Road.
a southerly
Were you going
direction.
any place in particular?
No, we were just going to see if anybody needed medical help, and I looked at a guy's shoulder on the way there.
Okay. And you finish with the guy's shoulder, and you continue on, and what happens?
I continue walking in a southerly direction down Sheridan Road, and then as I'm walking, I believe you guys have been referring to him as Yellow Pants. He said he said something to me. I believe it was, you were the one that pointed your rifle at me with the laser pointed at me. I believe that's what I heard.
Now, if you remember in that body cam footage or the documentary that the guy posted, there were people on the roofs just pointing lasers in the crowd, like, yeah, get away, get away. And I mean, granted, that's pretty offensive. Like, you're pointing your gun at me and putting the laser on me. But I don't even think Kyle's gun had a laser on it. So they passed the barricade, messed up. Now they're in the back, and now people are starting to turn on them.
And I didn't. That's the first time I saw him that night, so I was confused. So I said I did, and then I continued to walk away.
And was the did an admission that you did it, or more of a statement with a question?
It was a sarcastic remark.
Okay. Did you engage with him any further?
No.
And from there, where do you go?
There I continue walking in a southerly direction, merging towards the middle of Sheridan Road.
Okay, at that point, do you become aware of anything?
In about as I'm walking, I start to look because I realize Mr. Balch is not with me anymore.
Okay, did you continue on your way down Sheridan Road without Mr. Balch?
No, I actually went to go look for Mr. Balch in the Ultimate gas station parking lot.
Okay, when you went to the Ultimate gas station parking lot, describe what was going on there.
There were a lot of people there. I don't really know what was going on. I was just focused on trying to find Mr. Balch. As I was looking for him, couldn't find him. I said, okay, no problem. I'll just go back to the car source number 2.
Okay.
That's where he messed
Describe
up.
what happened as you...
That's where he messed up. He lost his mans. Because he was running around like a chicken without a head. He was just running around trying to figure out where to go. And that's because he passed that barricade.
did that.
As I did that, I received a phone call from Dominic Black.
Okay, let me back up. Were you able to get back to car source number 2?
No, I did not.
Describe that.
as I was trying to get back, the police stopped me. Well, didn't stop me. They told me, I believe they said something along the lines of to not go down there. And I was telling them, hey, I need to go down there. That's where I'm at, that business. I don't remember exactly how that conversation went, but they wouldn't let me go back to car source lot number 2.
So you weren't able to get back to car source 2?
I was not.
Did you
And you have that big gun on you.
disobey the police's order?
No.
And you're alone, you're stuck on the other side of the police line from the car source 2. Where do you go?
I go to where there's other people at the gas station protecting the gas station, and I go there because I believe that's the safest place to go because there's other people there. And
at that point, were you able to find Mr. Balch?
I was not.
Well, you're at the ultimate gas station, I think we've been calling it.
Correct.
And you had a fire extinguisher.
Yes.
Were you able to go in a northerly direction?
I wasn't.
Describe what happens.
Once I take that step back, I look over my shoulder and Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side. And I was cornered.
Do you guys think he practiced the tears? Be honest. Do you think the lawyer was like, all right, now when we get to this point of the testimony, you need to cry, okay? It needs to be legit. I don't know. Just curious. What do you guys think? I know I would cry my ass off, but do you think it was planned or was it actual some true PTSD? Maybe a little bit of both.
From in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were three people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
Okay, a little panic attack.
Whatever.
But is he crying though? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, they take a break from here because he completely loses it. Now, I don't know if it's a strategy or if it was really how he was feeling at the time, but either way, it was a strong testimony for your boy Kyle Rittenhouse. So if you guys are interested in seeing some more Kyle Rittenhouse, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Love y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Until the next one, stay inside, stay safe. See you later.